Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Parker, again, back again with another action figure review. Today we have another one of the Actionverse figures for the new Spider-Man Brand New Day movie. Now, originally I wasn't going to pick this up, but then I saw the movie and I really liked how the suit looked in it, so I ended up getting the Spider-Man. I think it's a pretty cool figure, but as we do before, and every figure review I do, let's take a look at the packaging. So if you watch my Scorpion review, it's going to be pretty much identical. You got Spider-Man in the top left, I guess top right. But there's the Spider-Man Brand New Day, Marvel Studios logo. On the bottom you got the Actionverse, and then Spider-Man with the Spider-Man logo. If you flip it around, you get how to do the weapons rack and all that stuff. There you go, it shows you to plug the little spider in. Here we have Spider-Man with all the, I guess, the gear on. That's what it calls it here, so all the gear. Again, more Spider-Man Brand New Day stuff. And then we have a checklist for the rest of the single-carded figures. And the other one I wanted besides Scorpion was this one. I could do without the black and gold suit. It's a cool suit, but, you know, kind of a weird thing to put in, you know, my scale. And that, just a bunch of warnings. Now, if we take a look at the figure itself, it's a pretty good Spider-Man figure. The only thing, the scale is still off if you do Marvel Universe and Marvel Legends 3 3/4 inch. But other than that, I mean, it scales well with the new Actionverse figures. It's a nice looking figure. The articulation is good. You got a hinge at the shoulder and at the elbow. There's a ball joint at the head. You can't look up much, but it's still nice to include it. There's a hinge at the thigh, or I guess not thigh, I guess more at the hip. And he can kick out pretty far, and he kicks forward very well, no back, and then a hinge and then a swivel on the knees. I like the texture. I like the color's nice. It's not 100% accurate. I think the blue is a tad bit darker in the movie, but this is definitely the most accurate one they put. The other Spider-Man is different. It's just this figure, but a recolor, but it's a bit too dark. This one is just a bit too light on the blue, but I prefer a lighter Spider-Man to a darker one, so that's fine. You can see here on his left hand, he's doing the classic web shooting pose. He has a spider logo. He only has a couple things of paint on here. The first one are the white and the black on the goggles or eyes of the mask. Pretty good. Looks decent. Nothing, no hideous paint defects or anything. We have the spider on the front, just painted black, and then on the back we have it painted red on the blue. Now if you zoom in, I know the light's hitting it pretty well, you can see a bunch of texture. There's different texture from the webbed part to the blue, which is interesting. They put a lot of attention to detail in this little sculpt here. Like you can see where the mold separates, so does the texture. You can see here it goes from this the web and this kind of like dotted texture to this lined stuff with more lines cutting through it. On the back, you could definitely see some more stuff, right? Even like on right here, you can tell the disconnect. That this texture is minorly different to this one, but it's still a nice touch. And then on the legs here, you got more of that kind of maybe more woven pattern with the stripes going along the thighs, and then it cuts back down to the red webbed kind of look. I honestly don't mind the no painted web lines, especially for a kid's toy, and with the amount of accessories you get, it's a fine trade-off. I think the fact that they even raised it up and added all this texture is more than good enough than just painting black lines on a flat body. I think it looks pretty close to the suit. I mean, it's a very simple suit. I don't know how it looks exactly, but if you show this to me, I'd say, yeah, it's probably the Brand New Day one. The articulation's good. It has some nice paint. I love the colors. The red and the blue are super nice. The annoying thing is the red that they used for the head mold is a little bit different than the body mold. You could kind of tell right there. This is more of a, I don't even know, maybe honestly kind of looks like a lightsaber red, and then this one's a dark, more fire truck red, I'd say. But I mean, it's a nice figure. You could do some decent poses with it. Honestly, it's not you know, devoid of posing. I like putting him in the little swinging thing, and he does that pretty well. So now that we've taken a look at the figure, we'll take a look at his many accessories. And again, with all these the Actionverse figures, they all come on this weapon stand. I only kept it for this video, so we'll take all this stuff off here real quick. And one thing I will note is that I've seen reviews of the other Actionverse Brand New Day figures, and it seems they all have differing like racks for their weapon. Like if you see here, we put it next to Scorpion, it's definitely different. This one has webs. It looks like it's made out of web. It has Spider-Man there. This one, it's more, also the color is different, obviously. This one's more tactical green compared to this lighter blue for Spider-Man. But you can see some, there's a little spider there. There's some nice webbing design. It's overall not a bad thing. I don't know how many kids are going to be using these, but it's not the worst. So for his accessories, he comes with a web backpack, which he does this a couple times, and different forms of media, and there is a peg on the back, so this can just peg nicely in there. There is a little hole, but it rests nicely. He has a web backpack now. It's not bad. Next up, he has 3 different web accessories, which I definitely appreciate. First off is this one that's kind of just made to look like he's shooting web, and if we zoom in here, you can see there's actually some very nice molding and attention to detail. Again, this is a very nicely sculpted figure. You see the webbing kind of wraps around it, spreads out, and that is meant to go on his kind of web shooting hand. So there's a hole on the forearm, and you kind of just plug that in there, and it's meant to emulate the web shooter. So you could do that, and you could have him shooting a web. I think it looks pretty decent. I mean, it's obviously meant for kids, so not collector oriented, but I think it's fun. It's a fun little addition. Next up, we have this kind of web shield, which I thought was fun, very reminiscent of Marvel vs. Capcom right there. We'll put that on after we put on his next accessory, which is a little bracelet, it seems, or like a wristband. At first I thought, sorry if you haven't seen Brand New Day, this is a spoiler, but I thought it would be like the inhibitor, maybe like an early thing that maybe it was like on a bracelet at first, but it got changed to like the thing on his neck. These toys usually work off of concept art. So this doesn't have a, oh damn, and of course it fell right between the group. Anyway, this thing doesn't have a like plug-in. This, you actually kind of have to snap this onto his wrist. It holds fairly well. It's just there you go. You kind of got it on there. The only thing is that they want you to put, if you look at the box, they want you to put the web shield right there, and that proves fairly difficult when you have that on there. So I'd probably advise against that. As you can see there, it's already taking a bit of damage from me trying to force it in there while that's on. But you get the web shield. Looks pretty neat. And then the last two, this one's kind of reminds me of like the Spider Tracer from Homecoming. Spider-Man. If we zoom in here, you could definitely see there's some molded detail on that thing, and it's a very nice little. It's all of these accessories are nicely sculpted. I'll give them that. And then if we take this off, because I don't really like the web shield look. If we take that off, his last thing is kind of an extended web that he can hold on to. There's a little handle here for this to slot into this hand, and boom. So that's a pretty long access. Honestly, this is probably about half his body. So this is about 2 to 3 inches. That's a crazy length for a kid's toy accessory. But yeah, you could do it if we take off all this other stuff. Boom. You have it do to like where he's like swinging. That's how I kind of like to do it, because it definitely looks like he's grabbed onto it after he's shot it out and kind of swinging through the city. This is probably my favorite accessory just because of the variety you can get out of it. You can like webbing someone, or you could do the swinging, as I said before. I think all these accessories are fairly good. The only one that confuses me is the wristband, because that doesn't really have an integral thing in the movie like the inhibitor did. But I think all of them, they have a place. They have a place. I wish they would have put the little hole on here instead of here, so you could have him shooting like how he's supposed to. But I know they want to make it to where everyone can use anybody else's accessories, which is not a horrible idea. Just kind of sacrifices some accuracy just for some playability, which is it's usually how it goes. I did want to compare him with the Scorpion, so if we move this out of the way, that'll probably help us get a better measurement. So here is the Actionverse Scorpion. If we stand him up, let's go. We stand him up, and then we get the new brand new day Spider-Man. I mean, they're pretty even. They scale very well. I'd say Scorpion's a tad taller, but I think he was taller in the movie, so that's fine. They look pretty fine together. Get him standing like this. Boom, you get Scorpion and Spider-Man. I do have the Marvel Legends 3 3/4 inch Homecoming Spider-Man, so let me get that real quick. So I have to reach over to get that. So this is a little shorter than a 3 3/4 inch, so I'm assuming it's gonna get dwarfed by this new Actionverse one. So we stand him up there. There we go. And then, Jesus, Peter has been on some steroids, quite frankly, because this growth spurt in the span of a couple years is kind of crazy. Look at that. These are obviously representing different points in his life, but yeah, no, this is not going to scale super well with the Marvel Universe kind of scale. I mean, just the bulk alone, like his finger is a quarter of this guy's forearm. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, they both, it's not meant to scale with them. It's meant to be a whole new kind of thing. So I'm going to put all this guy's accessories on. I think the Actionverse is going to be neat. I saw they revealed the sets for Doomsday. I'm definitely getting the Sentinel and Doom 2-pack, and then the Cyclops and Thing and Thor 3-pack. Just because, I'm a consumer. I love some action figures, even the kid action figures too. I collect everything, really. But yeah, this new Actionverse line, it's pretty neat. The only thing is I wish they came with maybe some stands, because these guys get a little heavy. But that's gonna be the end of this video. I would recommend this figure a lot. I like it. It's very fun to play with. It's definitely a play figure, not a pose figure. But the sculpting is nice. The accessories can definitely get you some nice little scenes if you want to play with like the Scorpion or something. I think all in all, it's a good figure. It's about $10, which isn't the worst ever, especially since that's the same price as the Precure series. You're getting a bigger figure with more accessories and honestly more detailing. So I'd definitely say it's worth it, especially if you like the movie like I did. I thought it was phenomenal. I'd recommend getting this just to, have a little Spider-Man toy. But that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. There probably will be a couple more action figure reviews coming in the near future, especially when those Doomsday figures come out. I'm getting them the second I see them in stores, but that's going to be in like a month, so gotta wait, unfortunately. But give me some time to accrue some funds to get those. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.